Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Command. Today is the first live stream that we are doing on the channel. So we are setting everything up, making sure that we get this up and running. Look forward to chatting with a few of you live as we get everything going here. We'll give this a minute or two for people to come in. But welcome to everyone, and look forward to discussing everything that is going on with the Bitcoin price. So right now, what I am looking at is the Bitcoin price on Coinbase. Currently have the 4-hour chart up, and you can see that right now we are testing a level of support that we have identified and have been watching for a few days now. And this is really an important time for the Bitcoin price to see whether or not we can hold this level, and if we continue to hold it, will we be able to bounce back off of this and test this point of resistance that we have been seeing in the long-term trend line? So overall, just to refresh where we've been looking for a few days now, this has been the blue is the down trend line that we've been looking at back from the top peak at 20,000, and most recently when we were right around 12,000. And so this downtrend line was a point of resistance when we were starting to see an upswing again. We weren't able to break through that, and now we've bounced off of that and are back down toward a level right around 9,500. So that is what we've been watching, and so I thought it would be great to start the first live stream for Crypto Command to see what happens now that we're at this level. 9,500 is really important because historically this is what we've seen in the past. This was one of the important levels to test back in December, as there was November and December, as there was the big breakout in the Bitcoin price, and of course we've seen resistance at this level before. So thanks to everyone for joining this first live stream. Really excited to have a few of you jumping into the channel here. Let's see if we can get notifications on. Just seeing if I can get chat up and running for myself. All right. So have chat up and running. Great. Thanks to those of you who have hopped in the channel already. Crypto Motivation, hello. Serious manipulation. Possible manipulation in here, but I think what we're seeing overall, let's go over to CoinMarketCap and seeing that really this is a whole market trend that we're seeing right now. And I think that the fact is that there's a lot of interest in Bitcoin right now. What we've seen over the past few days really is an increase in the total volume in Bitcoin. And this has been maintained. The volume is increasing again to levels that we haven't seen since there was all the euphoria back in November and December when everyone just wanted to jump in. So I think this is actually very healthy for the markets. And looking into to this more specifically, if we look at the relative strength index, we're actually at a pretty low point here. So the fact that we are testing this level of support right now means that there is the possibility that this could be a good price for new buyers to get in. So let's take a look at this on shorter timelines. So usually I don't look at really short times, but this is actually pretty interesting. If you zoom in to the 5-minute chart, and you can see this is where we started to drop earlier today. And these red candles drop down right around where we've drawn in this 9,500 point of resistance. And of course, this line isn't drawn perfectly. It's just an eye view that I've drawn on the chart to really see where resistance occurs in the past. And so there's been a lot of churn here right around this level as the price dipped into 9,500. And so you're seeing a lot of alternating green and red candles. So this is where we would expect to find support. And so that's why I'll have this up, and we can continue to check this as we have the live stream up and going here. So Joe from Luxembourg, hello, and Barry, hello. Welcome to the live stream. So this is overall some interesting an interesting point to watch. If we zoom back out to the 4-hour chart, what I've really been thinking about is what's going to happen. Of course, this is essentially setting up for a binary event. One of two things will happen here. We will either break down and fall below this point of support, or we will be able to break out of this downtrend line that we've seen. So as we move on through time, it's inevitable that we are going to have to meet one of these two criteria, because eventually as this triangle meets, we're going to have to go in one direction or the other. So I wouldn't be surprised if we test both levels multiple times before we actually see a decision. So this may just be the first test on this level of support in many that we'll see in the coming days. So overall, that is continuing to move. So let's go back over to CoinMarketCap, and you can see that because the overall price of Bitcoin is going down, we're pretty much seeing red across the charts right now. Of course, the Bitcoin price at 9,500, and the USD prices at least are all generally trending down, at least in the top coins. But let's flip this over to the BTC price so that we may use BTC as a relative comparator. And here you can see that there are a handful that are above and a handful that are below the price of relative to Bitcoin. So in particular, Litecoin and Neo are standing out as some of the top 10 coins that are above. Ethereum is also doing okay right now. But if we check out what has been going up the most in the top 100 coins at least, the leader for the past 24 hours has been Salt. So Salt is a lending platform that has in some ways been an undervalued project as this is continuing to grow. I think one of the things that's currently driving the price of Salt up is that it was recently approved in multiple additional states that Salt lending could occur. And so this might help this platform continue to grow. One of the coins on this list that is doing well in the past 24 hours on this list is Nano. So Nano, formerly known as Raiblocks, is a scaling solution. And so Raiblocks has been around for some time now, and while it has done well, it's really been this jump that we've seen in the past week that has caught a lot of attention. And there have been a number of different reasons for this, one being the rebranding of Raiblocks to Nano that has gone favorably for the project. One of the other interesting things that happened was that there was a tweet that was discussing this Nano transfer from an Android mobile wallet that the Nano core team was doing. And most notably, the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, liked this. And it's pretty crazy that one like of a tweet from Brian Armstrong can have such an effect, but there is some speculation that this means that Nano could be one of the next coins to be added to Coinbase. I think that's a lot to infer from a single like of a tweet, but Brian Armstrong has done something similar. This particular tweet from CryptoOwl said last time he liked a tweet about Bitcoin Cash, it was added to Coinbase a month later. So the expectation that Nano could be added to Coinbase, I'm not sure that there's any validity behind that, but just an interesting thing to think about. So that's really what the markets look like right now. Ethereum Classic continues to do well, and I think right now overall, if we focus on the total market, really the way that the market's going to go right now is pretty much the way that Bitcoin is going to go. If we look at the overall market cap, we are now sitting at 420 billion. So 420 billion, we've seen it be as high as around 450 billion in the past few days. Let's just zoom in here, at least to February, so it's reasonable to take a look at this. All right, so going into what has happened in February, you can see largely we've been flat in February for the most part. We have hit 500 billion at one point, now kind of creeping back toward 400. So that has a lot to do with where Bitcoin is taking the whole market. And right now, that is why sitting at the level where we are right now is so critical. So crypto motivation, thanks for another question. All right, as big money players come into the crypto world, don't you think the inflation swings will become tighter and tighter because of the large profit taking that will begin more of a trend? So big money players are absolutely going to drive a lot of this. So I don't have this chart up right now, but one thing that has been happening, if you just take a look at the Bitfinex charts right now, you can see that there's an increasing number of short positions that are being taken against Bitcoin. And so there are a lot of big institutional players on both sides of this, some looking for this to go up, some looking for it to go down. And so that is going to have a lot of implications for the price overall. What is healthy about the institutional players coming into this is that will continue to drive the volume up more and more. And so, of course, we've seen Bitcoin futures come into this with CBOE coming in and having the ability to trade those Bitcoin futures. So those are all probably positive effects for the price of Bitcoin in the long run. And the possibility of having a Bitcoin ETF as something that could come in as well could make it a lot easier for institutions and more investors to be able to participate other than just the retail investors that are currently in a lot of these markets. So let's just, as we continue to watch what's going on here, I'm just going to flip this down to the 5-minute charts, since this is really where we can see what's happening more in real time. So our pink line again is 9,500. And you can see we've had a couple of green candles to get us back above this. And so we're really just sitting on the $9,500 level. So let's zoom in even more to the 1 minute chart. Yeah, so 1 minute, now we're almost right on the $9,500 level and bouncing back and forth. All right, may not see the massive pump so quickly as it did in 2017. That's definitely a possibility. Let's zoom back out on this chart and let's zoom out to and take a look at what happened here in basically Q4 2017, where really you needed to look at this on a log scale to be able to follow the price of Bitcoin. It's definitely possible that with institutional investors coming into this, that the ability to see explosions in price in Bitcoin itself is unlikely. It's definitely possible that we will see a slower slope of the price. My personal take is that the price of Bitcoin will continue to go up in 2018. Of course, this is not financial advice, but that's just my take, is that we will continue to see this grow in a positive trend over time. But because you will have pressure on both sides of the price, because you have more sophisticated investors who will be able to both look at the short positions and the long positions, yes, things will probably continue to trade in a tighter range. And that may actually, these are just the early days of having institutional investors involved in trading Bitcoin, but that may have a lot to do with why we are seeing the price of Bitcoin sit in channels like this for longer periods of time. So what I've drawn, the chart that I've been following, if I zoom back into here, the yellow line that I have on here is around 11,600, and that is more of the point of resistance where I'm looking for Bitcoin to break through. Of course, we've been in a downtrend in this early part of 2018, and Bitcoin needs to be able to break through that line so that it can get out of this short-term downtrend. But there is a channel, and so having short positions, if institutional investors set up short positions relative to specific channels like this, yes, we can see Bitcoin continue to trade in shallow ranges for longer periods of time. And that is why it's really important to continue to look at other indicators, things like relative strength index, to be able to make sure that purchasing at levels is really, at specific levels, is really important. So 2018 will probably differ from 2017 in terms of just being able to throw money at anything and expecting it to go up. While the overall markets certainly there's plenty of growth in the crypto markets, the opportunity for lots of things to continue to go up, it will become more and more important to be sensitive to the price at which you first buy in. And I think that's what we're seeing in Bitcoin right now. If we actually, let's look at the longer term view on Bitcoin. So I'm going to move to the daily chart instead of the 4-hour chart. This is where I think you can really start to see that levels like this little channel that we've been in for right now, we could continue to see things move in this direction for weeks. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see something like that happen. So while we're seeing this level of support at 9,500, even if we are able to break through the downtrend line, I think that would be healthy for the price of Bitcoin, continuing to see it go up. But at that point, it may just be that this downtrend line becomes a line of support, and we will continue to see these lines of resistance, and we might move up slowly and gradually, but I don't think we're going to see these massive green candles like we've seen in the past. And overall, that's probably healthy. There will be less market manipulation just from whales that come in to the markets and being able to adjust things. So that's my take on that. This has been fun, guys. Just a quick intro. We'll continue to watch over time to see where the price of Bitcoin goes. I think we may see things stick here. I'll definitely have my eyes on it, be doing more videos on this in the coming days. But I just wanted to jump on here on the live stream since saw that the price had hit this level that I've been watching for some time. So glad a few of you were able to hop in and join the live stream and say hello. I hope to do more of these in the future, so be sure to hit the notification bell so that you'll be alerted next time I do a live stream. But I really appreciate you guys watching the videos and supporting the channel. It's really helpful to know that there are people who are out here watching, and it's fun to have a conversation with you guys. So till next time, thanks for watching Crypto Command.